What can you do about biased and unfair and inaccurate workers' compensation medical records in your Georgia Social Security disability case? I'm Jonathan Ginsberg, and I'm a Social Security disability attorney here in Georgia, representing clients throughout the state. And I know a little bit about workers' compensation. My wife, Jody, is the workers' compensation lawyer at our firm. And so sometimes I see cases that Jody has settled, and we end up pursuing Social Security disability. And one of the problems I deal with, whether it's Jody's clients or somebody else's workers' comp client, is the medical records from workers' comp providers a lot of times are just garbage. Workers' comp medical is a real problem because a lot of the doctors, many times the doctors the companies put on their posted panel are very biased in favor of the employer. They're going to downplay any medical problems. They're going to downplay any vocational implications because they're being paid by the insurance company, and the insurance company does not want evidence of severe impairments because that makes it expensive in the workers' compensation world. The problem is we get into Social Security disability, we may have a judge who's never heard of these workers' compensation doctors, the ones that the insurance companies use, and so we may have medical records that really indicate negative things for our case, that the person's malingering or overstating their pain level, the person's problems are not as severe as originally thought, whatever it could be. But the point is that you may have medical records that are really not helpful at all to your Social Security disability case and can muddy the water. And one of the problems in disability is that if you have medical records, some that are very strong and others that suggest that there's not a big problem, sometimes judges see that and they're like, well, the medical record's inconsistent, and they may just say, well, I'm just not going to believe anything, and they're going to deny. So having medical records that are not supportive can really be a problem in your disability case, so we got to deal with that. And what I do in those situations is I will almost always write a pre-hearing brief. Well, I'll explain to the judge that these records, and identify them by exhibit number, Exhibit 6F, Exhibit 8F, and Exhibit 11F, were records that were generated by a workers' compensation doctor. And in Georgia, workers' compensation is very adversarial. These records were generated by a doctor who gets most of his or her business from an insurance company, and they're deliberately shaded to minimize the level of injury or impairment. And therefore, we would ask Your Honor to give these records very little weight when making a determination. Instead, the records from Dr. So-and-so are much more valuable in evaluating the real limitations this particular claimant has, because they're done without a motivation, a negative motivation. They're not part of a workers' compensation case. They represent the unbiased opinion of a reasonable doctor. And at the very least, I'm telling the judge that, hey, these are workers' compensation records. Most judges understand what I'm getting at, but I think it's important to put that on the record. And then during the hearing, I will ask my client to comment about what the doctor said, the workers' comp doctor said. And they can talk about the hostile environment, or the fact that there was a nurse case manager there in the appointment trying to discourage things, or that the employer was very hostile and really was trying to not pay the claim. And basically just let the judge know these records should be given very, very little weight. I think you need to address it. I think you can't just let it sit there, because if you have these records there and the judge doesn't know, and again, you have to assume the judge may not know anything about Georgia workers' compensation, that we need to make sure we address that particular problem and make sure the judge is aware of that, and again, hopefully eliminate the problem of workers' comp records that are harmful to us, that are not accurate, damaging our claim. Please visit me online at ssdanswers.com if you have any questions, ssdanswers.com/GLO, Ginsberg Law Offices. Happy to answer your questions. You can download my Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit there, or you can ask for a case evaluation. Please also give this video a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook, and subscribe to our channels. And of course, leave me a comment. Love to hear what you have to say. For now, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. Again, I'm a Georgia Social Security disability attorney. I appreciate your taking the time to visit with me for a little while, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks a lot.